Hi there, welcome to the greenhouse. I thought today I would do a bit tidying up of some of the plants that have been overwintering. So these are Verbascum, beautiful plant, like a sort of miniature foxglove look about them. They're gorgeous, but as you can see over the winter they've got these little weeds growing in. I can tell they're weeds. If there were any other plant like a foxglove seed or something, I'd prick them out and pot them up themselves. So you just pull the weeds out. I've got a trug down here, all my green waste in there, because the young plants don't want to be competing with anything else at the moment. It's the end of February and these plants have been kept very dry over the winter. I did kill a few geraniums with kindness for giving them a good drink in January, so I've learnt my lesson there. If in doubt, err on the side of caution and keep them dry, but if they look like they're choking, just put your finger in. That soil seems fine to me, so I'm going to, you see there's a big lump of grass growing in there. Sorry about the noise there. Clay pigeons shooting in the field next to us. Each to his own. I love Verbascum. It's a real sort of cottage garden perennial. It's really hardy as well. We're up in the northeast of England, so plants have to be hardy here because we're right on the coast. Get a lot of wind, a lot of salty wind. Oh, poor little thing, look at that. Again, if you're new to gardening, you just get an eye for what is a weed and what's not. I can't bear to throw anything away that isn't a weed. Because they work so hard just to germinate and stay alive through the winter. Right, so here's the point in question. I think I'd have the right tool, wouldn't you? So I know that he is a foxglove and he's got a lovely root system, and he would have taken about 6 months to get like that over the winter. So all I'm going to do with him is, oh, here's one ready made, little pot, some soil in, pop him in there, and then give him a drink of tap water, not water out of your water butt, because that's great for established plants, but little plants need sort of more of a pure water. Put him back there. Right, so he's great. These plants here are Japanese Acers, and I got them in a local supermarket who, I don't know whether you have them in your area, but they sell plants at the door, and they never water them. I think it's a health and safety thing. They can't have water around in the shop. So the plants are great for about a week and then they just let the poor things die. So we're selling these off for, I think it was £2.50. Now they might look really bedraggled, but if you have a look, all these little pink and green things here, they're the shoots of the leaves that are going to come out. And if you look in the bottom of that pot, you can see all these little white bits here. They are the new roots. So I know by looking at that this plant is full of roots, and they were only in a tiny little pot when I got them, smaller than that. So it's a really good tip. If you see any poorly plants, bring them home, put them in a bigger pot, give them good water. But I know that this here is a weed. So I'm going to take him, in fact I'm going to take the whole thing out. Look at the root system on that. Now what is Acer and what is weed root? Oh, there's the weed, look. So he's going in the bin. I'm going to take off this green mould off the top here. Well, it's not mould, it's moss. But that soil is really quite dry and crumbly, and that's really what they need at this time of the year. It's very tempting to think, oh, spring's here, it's warmed up, and you put all your little plants out and give them a good water, and then particularly up here we can get frosts right into April. I didn't used to believe them. I always used to hang my hanging baskets out in March and then lose everything. So it really is worth just waiting. So I probably will give him a little drink. Put him over there. That's another one with a weed in. I'll see to him. But this one, this Acer, I can recognise that as an Aquilegia. A beautiful cottage garden plant. I've got loads of them in my garden. So I'm going to pot him up. So you just get a 9 centimetre pot. I think they are 3-inch pot. Again, I can see the roots in here. I'm going to give him a little pop. Lovely root system. Now that's either the Aquilegia or the Acer. I'm going to say it's the Acer. And you just put your thumbs in between the two plants and gently prise him off. Look how easily that came off. And that is a lovely Aquilegia. Now that has self-seeded in a pot, and it's that stage. I'm going to turn the camera around and I'm going to show you the Aquilegias that I grew from seed. Well, I planted the seeds last September, and I'm going to show you how big they are by comparison. Look at the difference. So it really is worth it if you see self-seeded plants in your garden and you recognise them as a plant that you love. Take them out. He's leaps and bounds ahead of that, but still, I love little seedlings. He's going to go back there. And we're going to plant this Aquilegia up in his own pot. See if I've got the camera back in the right place. Move it a bit further back. That's better. Right, so yeah, a little bit less soil in there. Actually, I think you could do with a bigger pot. Yeah, I'm going to put him in that size pot. I don't know what size that is. Stick a bit of peat-free compost in there, plonk them in on the top, and then just backfill it loosely. Now see, he's got a little bit of powdery mildew on that leaf there, so I'm going to cut that off. Powdery mildew, I used to think it was because I was overwatering the plants, but it's not. It's when they get too dry and they get stressed, they get powdery mildew. And Aquilegias are prone to that. It doesn't harm the plant in any way, just the leaves don't look as nice. Again, we'll stick him over there and I'll give these all a drink. This one, I'm going to take the moss off the top. And I'm going to put him back in his original pot with a bit fresh soil, a bit fresh compost. Don't fill it too full, because then when you water it, it'll all drip off the top. so that they look much better. Right, now to some of the plants that didn't fare so well through the winter, and I think it's all my fault. So the geraniums that I dug out of my pots and containers at the end of last year, I brought them around here and I cut them back and I put them in pots of fresh compost, and they were great until January, and then I did exactly what I've just said you shouldn't do, and I thought, oh gosh, they're choking for a drink, so I gave them a good soaking, and then the temperatures plummeted, it froze, and I came in one day and all of these plants look like this. And I've got loads of them. That is a beautiful lemon, or was a beautiful lemon scented geranium. And I mean, I don't need them because I've got loads of geraniums in my conservatories that have survived because it hasn't been as bitterly cold as the greenhouse. But I do like to give plants every chance to survive. So what my mum told me to do was, if you get you should have secateurs, but I've got my scissors here. If you cut a stem right down at the bottom and there is any green there at all, then the plant's roots are alive, and you should just cut it back and leave it. Now that looks dead to me because that's brown, but I'm very lucky in that at the moment, before all the seeds germinate and I have to start filling every surface with young seedlings, I've got plenty room in here to give these geraniums a bit longer, a bit more of a chance. I'm going to try that. Yeah, they don't look good. This is a beautiful fuchsia, was a beautiful fuchsia. Again, I'm just going to do that snip test. I can't see any green on these. And you might think, oh, why bother? Is it worth trying to keep them alive? But then, why not bother? It's not taking any effort on my part. They're just sitting here in a cold greenhouse. I'm not heating them or anything. So I'm going to give them a few more weeks and see what happens. I hope you've enjoyed this little video. I've certainly enjoyed being in the greenhouse. It's great to get outdoors. And if you've got the time, do have a look at my other videos. It's just me doing what I always do, sort of. I'm chomping at the bit to try wanting to get into the garden and clear it out and start digging and planting things, but it's just far too cold. So I tend to do all the jobs in the greenhouse, in the little courtyard area, anything that doesn't mean I'm sort of standing on wet soggy soil. So okay, see you next time. Bye.